What if the scream inside your head yelling you're broken is the only lie, and the real you, messy, breathing, alive right this second, has been the universe's masterpiece from the very first heartbeat? I still remember the exact smell of that night: cold linoleum, stale coffee, and the metallic tang of tears on my lips. It was 3:17 a.m., and I was crumpled on my kitchen floor in an oversized hoodie that swallowed my hands, whispering to the empty dark like it might finally answer back. Why can't I just be enough? That question had stalked me for decades, a shadow stitched to my heels through every report card stained with red ink, every unread message that confirmed I wasn't worth the reply, every therapy waiting room where I sat clutching a clipboard like a hall pass to humanity. I felt like a software bug in the code of existence, a beta version forever buffering toward fixed. But in that shattered hour, something cracked open, not with thunder or revelation, but with the softest hush, like the world exhaling after holding its breath for 33 years. The silence underneath the noise didn't scold me. It sounded like coming home to a house I'd forgotten I owned. You know the myth they sold us, don't you? That life is a ladder and we're perpetually stuck on the rung labeled almost. Almost smart enough, almost calm enough, almost disciplined, almost kind, almost enlightened. Pick your flavor of almost and chase it like a mirage in the desert. I used to wake at 5 a.m. for meditation, legs twisted into pretzels, convinced that if I could just quiet the static long enough, I'd earn the golden ticket to exist without apology. Instead, I collected caffeine jitters, a permanent knot between my shoulder blades, and the quiet dread that even my silence wasn't silent enough. The universe, it turned out, wasn't running auditions. It was throwing a party, and I'd been standing outside the door with a clipboard, taking attendance for who was worthy to dance. Let me paint you a different picture, one that still makes my chest ache with wonder. You are not nature's problem child. You are nature's midnight jazz solo, improvised off-key in the best way, every note a surprise even to the player. The same reckless genius that flings galaxies into spiral arms etched the exact constellation of freckles across your nose, tuned the pitch of your laugh to a frequency only dogs and heartbreak can hear, choreographed the ridiculous way you shimmy when your favorite song sneaks up on you in the grocery store. I once watched my neighbor's dog chase his tail in dizzy, delirious circles, tongue lolling like a pink flag of surrender. He wasn't auditioning for perfection. He was perfection auditioning for joy. That's you, mid-spin, mid-stumble, mid-breath, glorious in your clumsiness, divine in your detour. No warm-up required, no permission slip needed. And here's where the old grief still pools in my throat. We were taught separation before we could spell our own names. Big girls don't cry. Real men don't ask for help. Productive humans hustle until they bleed. Layer by layer, we built a costume so convincing we mistook the fabric for flesh. I spent a decade performing the responsible one, smiling through panic attacks that tasted like copper, until one ordinary Tuesday I caught my reflection in a department store mirror and didn't recognize the eyes staring back. Those weren't the eyes of someone failing at life. They were the eyes of someone exhausted from pretending to be a character life never cast her as. The stranger in the glass wasn't broken. She was buried under applause she never asked for. But listen close, because this part still brings tears to my eyes in the middle of crowded subways. The moment you peek behind the curtain, the costume loosens. You don't have to torch it in a dramatic bonfire or renounce every role you've ever played. Just notice the seams. Notice the velvet isn't bone. I started small, eating cereal for dinner and calling it a win, letting tears fall in movie theaters without frantic sleeve dabbing, answering, "I don't know," without bracing for cosmic disappointment. Each tiny rebellion felt like kicking off borrowed high heels and sinking bare feet into warm grass after a lifetime of blisters. The earth didn't swallow me. The sky didn't collapse. Instead, something ancient inside exhaled, a sigh that said, "There you are. I've been waiting." You see, the universe didn't birth you as a rough draft. It detonated you like a dandelion in a hurricane. Seeds of chaos and wonder scattering in every direction, taking root in cracks we hadn't planned. Your anxiety? Just thunder echoing through cathedral skies. Your obsessive late-night Wikipedia spirals? Constellations only you can navigate. Your scars? Lightning strikes that lit the path long enough for you to stumble forward. I have a jagged silver line across my left knee from the day I tried skateboarding at 27. Convinced cool adults nailed ollies on the first try. That scar isn't a mistake. It's a love letter from gravity reminding me I'm allowed to fall spectacularly and still get up laughing. Close your eyes with me for one unhurried breath. No agenda, no spiritual resume, no gold stars. Feel the soft electricity humming behind your ribs, the quiet voltage that was crackling before your first heartbreak and will crackle long after your last. That hum doesn't keep score. It doesn't care if you meditated for 20 minutes or ate an entire pizza at 2 a.m. It's the same hum that shoves crocuses through frozen concrete in February and persuades stars to burn for billions of years without a single performance review. You're not late to the celebration. You are the celebration. Spilled champagne, off-key karaoke, confetti in your hair and all. I won't pretend the old voices vanish like smoke. Some mornings I still wake reaching for the armor, fingers fumbling for the clasps of not enough. But now I greet them like uninvited house guests who overstayed by a decade. Hey, inner critic? Coffee's in the pot, but the guest room's booked. And in the space they vacate, something tender unfurls. Curiosity instead of critique. Play instead of performance. I laugh louder at dad jokes that aren't even funny. I dance in the produce aisle when the overhead speaker surprises me with a song from 2003. I send I miss you texts without drafting them 17 times in my notes app. Life stops feeling like a pop quiz I didn't study for and starts feeling like a playground at golden hour. Still light enough to see the swings. Magic enough to believe I could fly if I pumped my legs just right. So here's my heart. Still fluttering too fast from laying it bare. There is nothing wrong with you. Not the way your voice cracks on the word love. Not the dreams you abandoned in the junk drawer next to expired coupons. Not the snort that escapes when laughter ambushes you. You are not a before picture waiting for Photoshop. You are the entire gallery. Every brushstroke, every smudge, every frame leaning crooked because perfection was never the point. The oak tree outside my childhood bedroom window never apologized for its gnarled branches. It just reached knuckles of bark scraping sky. Reach with me, not toward some airbrush tomorrow, but into this trembling, luminous now where your pulse is a drum solo and your breath is a love song. Because the secret I learned on that kitchen floor, mascara streaked like war paint across my cheeks, is this. The universe looked at infinite dark and said, "Let there be you." And you were. And you are. And that wild, imperfect, breathtaking you-ness is the entire point. The whole point. So breathe it in until it rattles your bones. Let it ruin you for every smaller story you were ever sold. You're here. You're whole. And damn it, you're allowed to take up space exactly as you are. Glorious, unfinished, already home. Let's keep going, because the night I met myself on that floor wasn't the end. It was the overture. I started noticing the ordinary miracles I'd been too busy improving to see. The way steam curls from my tea like incense for no altar but morning. The freckle on my wrist that looks suspiciously like the constellation Orion if you squint. The stranger on the bus who hummed under his breath and accidentally harmonized with my heartbeat. I stopped treating my body like a machine that needed oil changes and started treating it like a best friend who'd been through war. Scarred, loyal, deserving of gentle hands and second breakfasts. I used to think awakening meant ascending, levitating above the mess of humanness until I glowed like a saint in a stained glass window. Turns out it's more like descending, diving headfirst into the muck and discovering it's made of the same stardust as everything else. My depression, a dark forest I wandered until I learned its paths by heart. My rage, a wildfire that cleared space for new growth. My joy, a clumsy toddler learning to walk, falling, giggling, trying again. None of it needed fixing. All of it needed witnessing. And the witnessing changed everything. I stopped apologizing for taking up oxygen. I started answering, "How are you?" with the truth instead of the script. I let my mother see me cry without rushing to prove I was fine. I told my best friend I was scared of turning 30 without a 5-year plan, and she laughed and said, "Good, plans are overrated." I wore the dress with the stain because it was the only clean one left. I sang in the shower so loud the neighbors probably filed a noise complaint shaped like a heart. You don't need to earn your existence. You're already overdrawn on miracles. Every cell in your body is a universe with its own Big Bang. Every thought is a comet streaking across inner space. Every tear is an ocean learning to be salt. I once found a note I wrote at 12. "When I grow up, I want to be fixed." I laughed so hard I cried. Because 12-year-old me had no idea she was already whole, just folding herself into smaller and smaller origami to fit inside other people's expectations. So here's your invitation, scrawled in lipstick on the bathroom mirror of the world. Stop folding. Unfurl. Take up the space your soul negotiated for before you were born. Scream into pillows. Whisper to houseplants. Draw hearts on foggy windows. Let your becoming be as effortless as a river, forgetting it was ever ice. Let your being be as inevitable as sunrise. You are not a project. You are a poem the universe is still writing, and every so-called flaw is just the rhyme it hadn't planned. I still have bad days. Days when the old voices crank up the volume and I forget the sound of my own name. But now I treat those days like weather. Storms that pass, leaving the air washed clean. I don't try to outrun them. I dance in the rain until my socks squish and my laughter tastes like thunder. I remember the kitchen floor, the hoodie, the 3 a.m. tears, and I bow to them. They were the doorway. And you, yes you, reading this with coffee breath and bedhead and that quiet ache you carry like a locket, are the doorway too. Step through. The universe is on the other side, barefoot, holding out a hand, whispering, "Finally, I've been waiting to dance with the real you." Take it, spin, fall, laugh, cry, exist so fiercely the stars take notes. Because there is nothing wrong with you. There never was. You are the answer to a question the cosmos asked itself in the dark. What happens if I dream in human form? This you, exactly this.